After literal hours of trying different teams on different squad bosses and stuff like that, I think I finally found a team that consistently beats the red squad boss on nightmare difficulty. Okay, so I'm going to be telling you guys about the gear and what you need to have to be able to actually clear this somewhat efficiently. So the idea behind this one is to stop the boss from getting mobility, and so basically every time they are attacked, they are going to grant themselves mobility. 70% chance to grant itself a 40% increased mobility buff. So the idea is to stop that so the boss never gets a turn, and that really makes this the easiest squad boss to beat overall out of all of the squad bosses. Okay, so you need to do a specific turn order, and you need specific gear on characters to make sure that turn order happens. Ideally, you're going to have Nebra go first, so you will need a speed set on her because Nebra and Lotus's base speed is the same, so you need her speed to actually be higher than Lotus's. Okay, so you want her to go first, then you want Lotus to go, then you want Julius to go, and then you want Mars to go. Sometimes, if you don't have a speed set on Lotus and you only have a speed set on Nebra, then even though the boss lowers Julius' speed because he attacks the person with the highest speed at the start, then Julius will go before Lotus, and you'll be missing a lot of damage. Okay, so you got to be careful with that. So I'll show you guys the sets I have on these two because they are crucial. So if you look at the gear here, I have a full speed set on Lotus, and it's SSRs and URs, and on Nebra I have a similar thing, but her gear is a little bit better, so I'm hoping that she'll actually end up being faster with better stats overall, obviously. And then on Julius I have an all magic attack set, and you can see the attack sets I have. I have a base attack set that gives me extra attack. I have a penetration set, and I have a gold magic attack set that's going to just give him more damage, give Julius as much damage as possible. And then on Mars, it's just a tank build with a tank set of gear plus 30%, which is really nice. Okay, so that's kind of how you want to build Mars. And then for food is really helpful. Don't overlook this. You can use grilled dotted halibut, increases attack and magic attack by 5%, which is really good for Julius, so that'll help you do a lot more damage. There's obviously other options you could use too that do increase your damage overall in the run. So with that said, let's hop in and see if we can beat this. Alright, he's going to attack Julius here at the start. Single target attack, unlike the other bosses. The other bosses do like AoEs at the start. And you can see Julius survives. Nebra does go first, which is exactly what you want. And then you want to go ahead and use her skill 2, which is going to do a reduced defense debuff. And it's also going to inflict buff immunity on the enemy for 1 turn. The buff immunity can't be extended by Lotus, but the reduced defense can, which is nice. And so what that buff immunity does is it makes it so he won't raise his mobility gauge. If you don't have that her skill card, you won't get that buff immunity, so you need to have her skill card on her, and it will stop the mobility gauge from raising on this boss, meaning a Lotus will go next. If you don't stop the mobility gauge from raising with the buff immunity, then he'll attack, and yeah, it's wraps. So okay, next we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this. Inflicts and incapacitate level 3 debuff on the enemy, 55% chance to remove all buffs, 50% chance to inflict a reduced speed level 3 debuff on the enemy for 2 turns. We need to get that speed reduction right, so hopefully this lands. Okay, we got the reduced speed and we got the incapacitate, which is perfect. Now if you have Julius' skill card, you're going to want to use this, and it has a 60% chance to inflict a 10% reduced mobility debuff on the enemy, inflicts mobility depletion too as well. So we're going to go ahead and do this. We got mobility depletion. You'll notice his mobility is gone, so he doesn't get a turn. And now we're going to go ahead and we're actually just going to use the combo skill, which will have a chance to taunt. And also, it's going to reduce his speed even more. Okay, so a bunch of debuffs there. Now we're going to go ahead and use Incapacitate, which is going to increase the damage that the enemy takes by 60%. And then, of course, this stuff for Julius. Alright, Julius did a good amount of damage there. Now we're going to extend debuffs with Lotus. And we're also going to put concentrated attack on, which makes stuff hit for like a crit. Okay, now Julius gets his turn. He will have mobility depletion again. You can see all the debuffs on the enemy that are reducing speed and going to let us do a lot of like big damage here. So here we go. 204,000 damage with Julius. Very nice. Reduced mobility again. And we'll go ahead and try to taunt. We did not get the taunt. It doesn't really matter because he's going to AoE at this point. Reduce mobility here, hopefully. Okay, that helps us, so he didn't get a turn. Reduce mobility. Perfect. Still didn't get a turn. He will get a turn after this one. Let's hope he taunts. No taunts. Okay, we are pretty close. Did not kill Julia, so we're good on that. We can do the buff immunity again with Nebra since she survived, which is perfect. We can do the extend debuffs. Now we can do this with Julius. Pretty decent damage, 73,000, right? And we're going to do this with Mars, try to taunt. We got the taunt. Do this. Alright, we're going to use our ult here. And we got buff removal and immunity. We didn't do mobility down, unfortunately. Okay, we should get mobility down right there. Okay, good. And now we can do speed down with Mars. We definitely want to use that here. Okay, reduce speed. And now we can use Nebra's Incapacitate, and we might actually kill right here with Julius. That would be ideal, right? Not quite. We're so close, but we'll finish it up right here with Lotus. So this is pretty consistent. I'm obviously recording this live. It didn't take me a bunch of tries. It didn't take RNG of resetting and whatnot. So this is kind of the best way to clear Nightmare difficulty consistently and easily. And that's why I wanted to show it to you guys. And once again, there are a couple of things you need. You are going to, of course, need Nebra's skill card on her. You are going to want Julius's skill card ideally, but you can run without it. The only difference is instead of using his secondary skill or skill 2 at the start, you'll use his ultimate at the start if you don't have a skill card. You are going to want Nebra to be your fastest character besides Julius. Julius you want to technically be your fastest, but he'll get attacked by the boss and get mobility depletion. And so she's your second fastest character, Lotus your third fastest character to make the turns work the way you want them to work out, okay? So hopefully this guide helps you guys out a little bit, and if it did help you out, please consider going down there, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and I will be trying to do the green Nightmare boss and the red Nightmare boss. I've been trying a couple of different strategies. I will say as far as, you know, I did the red Nightmare boss right here. The green and the blue Nightmare boss. I will be doing a guide for the green and the blue Nightmare boss. And I will say as far as the green Nightmare boss, no, the blue Nightmare boss goes. There we go. Oh my gosh, my brain is all over the place, guys. Sorry, it's fried. I've been doing this all night. As far as the blue Nightmare boss goes, I am really close to having a consistent strategy that actually lets you keep your team alive for the entirety of the full 10 turns that it takes to get through the blue boss and beat it. And Kahono is a big part of that team. And so I really want that to pan out because I think Kahono is a very cool character, and I know a lot of people aren't summoning on her. So I will try to get that beat. We'll see if that ends up happening. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, please go down there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will try to do some more Nightmare guides here in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.